What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with a brand new video. Today we're firing up our Traeger 750. We are going to smoke pork chops with our very own dry rub and finishing it with a sweet and tangy barbecue sauce glaze. We're going to bacon wrap corn on the cob and smoke that as well, and we're going to do scalloped potatoes. Let's get started. So as you can see here, I've got everything already laid out, somewhat pre-measured and set up for quick and easy assembly for the purposes of this video. So we have thin skin potatoes here. You don't need to really peel these, just wash them off really good as you should any produce that you buy from any grocery store. Now I've gone ahead and pre-sliced a bunch of those potatoes. We have mushrooms. Yes, these ones are from a can. They're my wife's favorite. I don't argue, I just make it how she loves it. We have some sweet onion here. We have our corn on the cob. Now we have some cheese for our scalloped potatoes. We have our boneless pork chops and our bacon to go around the corn. That is maple smoked bacon because I want that corn to have a little extra sweet. We have our butter. We have our own home blend, salt and pepper rub. Now I blend this myself. This is my salt to pepper ratio. You can find a lot of ratios online for these. They're really quick and easy to make. Just any disposable or reusable container. Wash it out really good after you're done with it. Mix your seasoning, get a bunch of it done ahead of time, and save yourself a lot of time. And because I'm sure you probably noticed that I didn't point to it, this is apple crumble, and we're going to smoke this on the Traeger today as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out our aluminum foil. Now these packs you are going to want to double line because the potatoes have to cook in the foil pack, and we actually want the potatoes to steam in the pack somewhat. So what we're going to do is throw down a base layer of butter. We're going to spread this around really good. Want a nice surface about the size of how big your potatoes are going to be on the bottom. Now this is so the potatoes don't stick. It adds some flavor, and overall it's just something I've always done, and I found it's a great step to have. Now we're going to line the bottom of this foil pack with our first layer of potatoes. And real quickly here, we are just going to get this done. So that's good to start. We are going to toss down some onion. That should be good. We'll throw a handful of mushrooms down. Now we're going to throw some cheese. Now I don't need a heavy cream or anything like that because we're not actually baking this in an oven in a giant thick pan or anything like that. This foil pack is everything we need for a scalloped potato. So now that we have this, we're going to take our home mixed salt and pepper, and we're just going to give it a nice liberal seasoning. And then after that, we're going to throw down our next layer of potato. When we're done this, we're going to top it off with just a little more butter, just because we want that to melt through. Then we're going to take this and fold it up. Now we want to make sure we get a really good seal on this, which is also why we're going to double wrap it, because we want all this flavor and all this juice to stay inside this foil pack. And we'll take one more piece here real quick. Place it over top. And now this one doesn't need to be as easily creased because that's just going to help hold it all together like so. So now that I've finished assembling all my foil packs for scalloped potatoes, we're going to move on to the corn. So we just have small little individual corn on the cobs for everybody. So what we're going to do, we're just going to take some butter and we're going to cover the entire cob with this. And any extra, we're just going to put right off to the side here because I do have a bowl over here that I'm working with. Again, we are going to hit this with our salt and pepper. If you don't want salt and pepper, you don't have to. If you just want salt or just want pepper. But I like a nice liberal amount of salt and pepper myself. And then our maple smoked bacon. And we're just going to take this and find a good angle and try to wrap one slice all the way around, nice and even. And once we've done that, we're going to fold our aluminum foil over. We are going to roll the cob up into this, twisting off our ends, folding it under, and voila. We will cook it like this for about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll open up the foil pack, finish browning the bacon off, and then we'll be able to serve that. And I'm going to finish these last few up, and then we'll be right back. Now we're going to move on to the pork chops. Now I have here my brown sugar, my AP rub, and down here, this is my own blend of pork seasoning. I use this when I'm smoking ribs, pulled pork, pork chops. If I'm smoking pork, this little mixture right here, this little bad boy, goes on all my pork. Now we're going to take this and we're going to mix this up really well, and then we're going to coat all the pork chops with this. And this will give the pork chops a really nice flavor. It will allow them to brown really nicely, give us a really nice bark on the outside. And then to finish them off, we're literally just going to hit it with a little bit of my Canadian Grade A original barbecue sauce, and then we'll be ready to serve all this. So now that I've mixed all this together really thoroughly, we're just going to liberally get all these pork chops coated with this mix. We are going to get all the tops, and then once we've got all the tops, we will get the sides and the bottom, and we'll try to waste as little of this rub as possible, because we want all this flavor across all this meat, and that will really give it some really nice flavors and textures when smoking on the Traeger. We'll just pour this across the rest. What I don't use is no big deal. I didn't mix a whole lot of seasoning to begin with, but I wanted to make sure I did mix enough that I could coat every inch of these pork chops. Look at that. Those are looking beautiful. We'll just get all this seasoning used up that we can. Get all the sides. Look at that. We are wasting nothing. You can see how beautiful all that seasoning is on there. And now that we are done these last two, we're going to take all this outside, get our Traeger going, and get ready to smoke. So here we are outside. We've got our Traeger 750 going with our applewood. The temperature is currently 375 internal. And now we're going to get our corn on the cob going, and we're going to get our potatoes going. And we're going to give them about a 10 to 15 minute head start. And then we'll get the pork chops in, because the pork chops only have to cook to an internal of 145. And that's what we want. We want a very nice internal temperature, so it's nice and moist, well cooked all the way through. And we'll be back. So here we are. We're back. We're about 20 minutes into this cook session. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull this corn off. We're going to unwrap it. We're going to put it back on the grill without the aluminum foil now, because we want the bacon to get nice and crispy and tight around this corn on the cob. We're going to flip our scalloped potato packs and move them to the front. We'll put the corn back on along with the pork chops now, and then give or take about 20 minutes or so, or as long as it takes to reach an internal temperature of 145 on the chops, we'll be ready to serve. So I've already got a couple of these corn down. I'm just getting the last two on right now. Took me a minute to unwrap them. Figured you didn't want to sit here and just look at a grill while I was unwrapping corn and burning myself and cussing vigorously. And now for the pork. Now we're just going to take it, we're just going to lay it right here in the center. We're going to give these about 10, maybe 15 minutes, and then we'll give them a turn, and then we'll start the sauce. And about 10-15 minutes after, within 5-minute intervals, we'll keep saucing and we'll check our temp to make sure we reach 145. So here we are. We're at about the halfway point now, cooking these pork chops all the way through. We're just going to give them a quick turn. Got some nice grill marks on the other side. And we can actually start glazing these with our apple pie barbecue sauce. The bacon is almost cooked and unwrapping from the corn, but there's another way we can fix that with toothpicks. I'm not too worried about it. It's just the family and I eating it. And then here we have my apple pie barbecue sauce. I know I originally said I was going to go with the original. The family decided otherwise. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to hit this up with some apple pie barbecue sauce and glaze them all. Probably do 2 or 3 coats. Give these all a real good quick squirt here. Brush them down. We'll let this sauce caramelize on here for a few minutes, hit it with another layer. And it'll be almost time to eat. Now I just wanted to show you this real fast while I'm handling one of these hot foil packs with the scalloped potatoes in it. When you first open it up, it's going to be very hot and very steamy inside, so be careful. But as you can see, the potatoes have cooked all the way through, that cheese is melted, and we'll get plating. So here we go. Everything's all done, unpacked. We've got our bacon wrapped corn on the cob. We have our barbecued scalloped potatoes and our apple pie barbecue sauce glazed pork chop. Now we're going to cut into this real quick. And we're going to cut a nice little piece off here just to show you. Look at how tender and juicy that is. That is 145, 150 internal. It was tender, it was juicy and delicious. Our scallops, that potato's just coming right apart there. That's how tender that pack of potatoes came. And I've got onions, mushrooms, and cheese and salt and pepper in there. And then our bacon wrapped corn on the cob. Now because it is bacon wrap, and I do have an extreme love for bacon, I'm just going to rip that off of there and hopefully not throw my corn and eat that piece separate. But the corn, so tender, so juicy and delicious. This meal didn't take that much time to prep, didn't take a whole lot of time to cook, and it is amazing. You can do it for anybody, anytime, at home. And if you don't have a smoker, you can just buy a smoke box for your barbecue. Put one in your oven. There are many, many ways that you can recreate this very dish at home. Thank you very much. Have a good day.